I have a friend, his name's Dr. Jonathan Gibbs, and he did a PhD on the effect of exercise in the cell. And he told me this. He said, when you do that in the morning, a network of capillaries is opened that equals the distance around planet Earth. Well, I can hardly get my mind around that one. So where are these capillaries? They're in your extremities. They're in your fingertips, they're in your brain, they're in your eyes. So it increases eyesight, it increases hearing, it increases every single body function. Leviticus 17:11 states that the life of the flesh is in the blood. It moves blood. So yes, how excited was I when I found only 15 minutes. Well, let's have a look at this. It's called high intensity interval training, or often called HIIT training. And the first documented evidence of the HIIT training was probably before the war. Some German trainers were training their athletes in it. The war came, a lot was lost, and then the next time it was documented was a Japanese trainer called Tabata. Now, in many gyms, they still have the Tabata protocol. And he was a trainer for his girls in the Olympic Games, and they were doing figure skating. And he discovered that if they did the HIIT training, they had an edge. So what did he do? So the high intensity, he got his girls to do that for about 20 seconds. The recovery was probably 60 seconds. And the cycle, meaning it's done for a cycle of, would be about 6. So that's 6 cycles of 20 seconds high intensity, 60 seconds recovery. He found when it came time for the Olympic Games, they had an edge. They had an edge on the other athletes, and isn't that what it's all about? Everyone that goes to the Olympic Games is the best that their country has. And sometimes they win by split seconds. So finding something that gave his girls an edge was very important. I read about the HIIT training. Probably the first book I read about it was Dr. Doug McGuff's book, Body by Science. And he's a doctor. I think he's a heart doctor. And he found out about this. So what he did was he did 30 seconds high intensity, 90 seconds recovery for a cycle of 6. And what I have found in my reading, that's probably a time that most people come at would be the very best. Most of the HIIT training experiments have been done on an exercise bike. So if someone's a little unsteady on their feet, their ankles, their knees, their hips not working well, the exercise bike, they're able to hold on, they can go as fast as they can, and then they do the recovery time. So what is the high intensity? It's running for your life. It's going for as hard and as fast as you can, whether that be swimming, whether that be running up hills. When I was in Mount Isa is near the top of Australia, right in the middle, and there's a lot of mining there. So they've got these hills that basically look like that. And I think it's all the piles of dirt that came out of the mine. So I was there giving some health lectures. So say this is me here. This is about how big I am. So I would walk up them, and by the time I got to there, I was experiencing high intensity. And that's not even running. That's just walking. That's almost climbing. It was that steep. And then I'd stop and I'd have my recovery time. So what's recovery time? Well, the research shows that the best recovery time is when you're moving a bit. So what I would do is I'd do my stretches. I can't do much because I'm all wired up. But I would do my stretches. And because all my exercise is being done on my legs, I might do the 10 down and the 10 up and the 10 back. So the best recovery time is when you're doing it slowly. So Michael and I, we run up the hills because we're in the mountains, so there are hills and dips, and we run up the hill and then we walk down the hill. And then by the time we've walked down the hill, it's easily 90 seconds, maybe a bit more. We know we're ready to go again because our breathing. your breathing and your heart's settled down. When you think you can go for it again, then you're ready for your next high intensity.